Hey Glambellas, and thanks for joining me again for another one of our GlamMe tutorial videos. Today I'm going to walk you through how to shape and fill in your brows, and following this video I'm going to be posting a beginner's makeup 101, so stay tuned for that as well. Okay, before you obviously do any kind of brow shaping with tweezing at home, you want to go and get them properly shaped by a professional. Either having them waxed or threaded would definitely be my recommendation. You never want to use a razor on your brows. It's not good for your skin. It can definitely be unsafe. So if you can avoid something like that, take the time to go to a licensed professional and get your brows shaped with tweezers, or with waxing or with threading, and then maintain them at home yourself with tweezing. Okay, so I've already waxed my brows before the video. I am a licensed professional, so there you go. And I've shaped one of them for you just to save time, so you can see as I'm doing this one what you want to do to maintain. There's three main points to your brows that you're going to want to know in order to get the best shape for your eye and your face. Okay, so there is the head, the arch, and the tail. And the way you figure that out, quick and easy, is to take a pencil or something like that, this is my brush, and lay it up against the tip of your nose, and it should meet the inner corner of your eye. And where that starts, the inner corner of your eye, that's where the head of your eyebrow should start. So if you've got anything over this point, that's what you're going to want to take off. And if it's not growing that far for some reason, then you're going to want to fill into that point. Now, be careful when you do take this measurement, though, that you're paying attention to where the inner corner of your eye is. Because like most people, your face isn't exactly symmetrical. And when I rest my pencil up against this side of my nose, well, it doesn't meet up with the inner corner of my eye. And so if I were to follow just that guide, my brow would be starting here, and that would definitely not be a good look. So pay attention to that inner corner, go up from there, start the head right there on both sides, and that'll give you your guideline. Now, based on how your brows grow, that's how you're going to want to follow your arch. And again, using that pencil and laying it against the corner of my nose, I'm going to take this out to a 45-degree angle where that intersects, which should just be at the outer point of your eye, your pupil. Then that is where you're going to want to start your arch. So can you see that that kind of meets right there where my brows begin to arch? Perfect. And then the tail of it should end at the outer corner of your eye. So now you can see there that my hair doesn't grow all the way down there, so that's definitely going to be an area where we're going to want to fill it in some. Okay? Did you get those basics? I'm going to walk through it one more time for you. Tip of the nose, outer corner of the eye, that's our starting point. Outer corner of the pupil, that's our arch. And outer corner of the eye, that's our tail. So let's begin. Now, like I said, they've already been shaped. So, you just imagine that you've got your basic shape and it's starting to grow out now. It's been a week or so after going to the salon and getting them arched. And so what you're going to want to do is just tweeze them to maintain. And when you're tweezing, it's best to, first of all, use a piece of ice to numb, especially if you're really sensitive like me. I'm a big baby when it comes to tweezing. I tear up sometimes. It hurts a lot. So use a piece of ice on your skin for a few minutes to numb it, and you can just put a piece of ice in like a little plastic Ziploc bag, hold it there, get it kind of numb. It's also easier when you pull and give a real taut and tight look there to your skin. And then it'll be easier to pluck the hairs out. And as you're plucking the hairs, you're going to want to grab them and pull them in the direction that they're growing to bring them out. That'll be the easiest way to get them out. So let's get started. Now, if you are maintaining them, then you shouldn't have too many hairs to clean up. But if you let them grow in too much, it's probably going to be a very painful experience for you to pluck all of that. So that's why you want to maintain them often. As soon as you start to see a few coming back, pluck them out. And I've tinted my brows here a lighter brown, blondish shade. So it's definitely going to be hard for you to see some of the hairs, but you'll see the finished result. As long as you follow the guidelines I've told you, you should be okay. Okay. Now, following my guideline here with the pencil as to where my head's going to start, I'm going to pluck off all these additional hairs that shouldn't be there. Okay, so I've got most of my hairs up now. Now what you're going to do is clean them up by trimming down those extra long hairs. And the way you do that is take a brow brush, you're going to brush them down, and then use manicure scissors, or in my case I'm using my shears, and you're going to cut everything that's below the line that you've created of your arch. Just let me get real close here. Okay, then you're going to go back and do the same thing by brushing them up, all nice and standing up. trim that down. Pluck any additional hairs that you see. Okay. And now we're ready to fill them in. Now the thing about filling them in is you want to have a nice taper, meaning it should start bigger and end narrower. You never want to have it the same length all the way around. It's the same thickness, I mean. And you don't want to have them starting this thick and ending this thin. So you want to keep them proportionate for the best look. And I'm going to start right here where I said the head of my brow should begin, and I'm going to draw a straight line. And I'm doing that by just making little bitty lines all the way to my arch. Okay. Then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm making little line motions, and I'm going to go downward from the arch to where my eye should stop, my eyebrow should stop, the outer corner of the eye. And if you go a little over, don't worry about it, because you can clean it up at the end. And then I'm going to go underneath and do the same thing, drawing the line to my arch. And then another line from the arch down to where that should end. Now, there's the outline. I haven't filled anything in, but you can already see the impact that that makes. Okay, and when I fill it in, I'm going to use soft, quick strokes. This will give it the illusion, more of an illusion of hair as opposed to that thick drawn on marker line that you sometimes see on people. And the reason that I use a pencil is because I do need so much coverage. The pencil is going to give you better coverage than a powder, just in the same way that, you know, foundation liquid gives you better coverage than a powder. Because I'm really creating a brow that isn't already there. Now when you have more brows and you're just filling them in, it's okay to use just a powder. But there you go. Now, I am going to use a powder on top of this to go ahead and set the look, just like I would use my pressed powder to set my foundation. So you need an angled brush for something like this, and I'm going to just start at the front and gently sweep that color on, staying within my guidelines that I drew with the pencil. And brow powders definitely work well, but if you don't happen to have brow powder specifically, you can use an eyeshadow. Just make sure it doesn't have any shine to it, no shimmer. A matte brown. And I recommend brown even if you have what appears to be black eyebrows. They're really dark. If you use a black shadow or brow powder, they tend to be very heavy. You're going to get more of a cartoony, drawn-on look. Brown is more natural, so just use the darkest brown that you have. Okay. And then last but not least, we're going to go back and clean it up with a little bit of concealer. So you're going to want to just follow underneath that brow, straightest line as you can draw, cleaning up any excess. And the same thing on the top. You've seen me do this in a couple other videos. Now you know the method to the madness. Okay, and there you go. It's just that simple. Make sure here that you don't have any overage. And do you see the difference that that makes on my face? Alright, that's your brow tutorial, and I'm going to go ahead, go off camera, do my other brow, and get ready to come back and do the makeup 101. So, thanks for joining me. Ciao, Bellas. Till next time.